Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 40, and as always, we are your hosts, Jan and Malcolm. How are you, bro?
I'm alright, bro. Thank you. Could be better, could be worse. I had a bit of a makeover with my hair, as you
Oh,
can
there we go.
see.
Yeah,
I had to get rid of it, bro. I had to get rid
clean
of it.
shave, clean shave.
The bald spot was killing me. I was looking like John Cena with the bald spot.
Can't see him.
Other than that, I had a pretty relaxing weekend, nothing much happening. Other than that, I'm alright, bro. How are you? You good?
Yeah, all good from my end. 1 month away from Kilimanjaro, so
Already.
the excitement. The excitement is starting to kick in already. Yes, already. I mean, I remember telling
You was
you
just
and then
telling us.
the rest of the gang
You was just
that I
telling
will be
us,
heading to
man.
Kilimanjaro. So and now here we are, 1 month away from it. No, very excited. The workouts are now intensifying massively. I just had a really difficult hike yesterday, like around 1,000 meters of elevation. But other than that, pretty good from my end. Also watched the Formula One movie last weekend, so we get into those thoughts very quickly. And let's get into this week's episode, which we obviously we'll be talking about the Austrian Grand Prix in Spielberg. But before we begin, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, it's called Pit Stop Lounge. We talk things all related to Formula One, what happens in the racetrack, at the paddock, or outside of it, race reviews, breaking news, and other matters. This is your first time, like, follow, and subscribe. No, like, comment, and subscribe on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and for our Spotify listeners, make sure to hit us with a 5-star rating and follow us. And let us know your thoughts on each poll we publish on every single episode. We would like to hear your thoughts on the polls that we publish with every single episode.
Always,
And
always.
with that, bro, let us get into the rundown of this episode. As you can probably tell, guys, on our front cover, if you wonder who those two drivers are, those are Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce, played by Brad Pitt and Damson Eldridge, I believe. Those are the main protagonists of the new Formula One movie that's just opened last weekend worldwide. In case you are still living on another planet, there's a brand new Formula One movie that's just come out. I happened to see them. I happened to watch the movie. Went to see it on the big screen yesterday. By the time, and also by the time that this episode is out, I'll be publishing my full review on my other channel, Giannis Talks. Make sure to follow that. I will be leaving a link in the description of this episode. But bro, I think you haven't seen the movie right yet.
I haven't seen the movie. I want to see the movie. If you want to give a brief review, go ahead.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate if
yeah.
you
I'm
give me
going.
spoilers, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, obviously, I'm gonna go very brief.
Probably listen. You could give spoilers. Probably by tomorrow, I probably forget everything you just said.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm being
But
honest.
no, but listen, but to the respect of those viewers listening to us that have not yet watched this movie, I will obviously not give away any spoilers for this movie. No, giving you my very brief thoughts on it. It's a movie. That's what it is. It's a movie. So if you're
Everything is a movie.
expecting,
Yes, of course, it's a
yeah,
movie, bro.
obviously, but listen, but if you expecting, no, hang on a minute, bro. But
Bro, you sound like Michael Owen. What are you doing?
yeah, yeah, I did sound that. No, I did sound a little bit like him. But listen, guys,
I'm just pulling your
if
leg. Come on.
don't sweat it. If you're expecting something realistic, guys, just go watch a race.
I mean,
Just
it's
go
a
watch
movie, so
go watch next week's race in Silverstone if you want a realistic
absolutely.
race. This is a big budget movie. It is very unrealistic, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun, man. Don't get me wrong. I was so entertained by watching this movie. I mean, you've got obviously Brad Pitt, you've got the immersive racing scenes. I mean, this is the guy who pretty much saves cinemas with Top Gun Maverick, so you know exactly what you're expecting. It's just a very fun time. And also the cameos are fucking hilarious. I was pretty much the only guy inside. I was the only person inside the cinema that was laughing my ass off with the cameos. But I had a very fun time with that fun. So obviously, guys, my full review is gonna be up by the time this episode will be out on my other channels called Giannis Talks, where I basically talk about movies, review films. I've made like about 7 videos so far, so make sure to follow that on my channel. We'll be leaving a link in the description below, and I will also leave a link for my letterbox account where I also write other where I write the rest of where most of my movie reviews are. They're basically written form, so really appreciate you guys giving me a follow on that account as well. And with that, bro, let us dive straight into the last weekend's Grand Prix, the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. Very short track, both a very fast track as well. I mean, what those
Fastest
one
track.
I think it is the fastest track
It is the fastest track. It is
in
the
the
fastest
entire
track.
calendar. A 1 minute and between a 1 minute and five and a 1 minute 6 seconds would do with any single car out there. Your thoughts, bro, on the track?
I love it, bro. I love it. And listen,
Same.
news just broke out. I believe yesterday was it
Yeah.
that it's gonna be extended to 2041. I believe.
Jesus
No.
Christ, 20. Yeah, yeah.
Listen, we thought that Miami, the extension for Miami was outrageous. We already seen them now with Canada and now with Austria. Canada and Austria should be mainstays. We already said on Miami, no need to get into that. But
No, no,
Austria, absolute mainstay is all I have to say. Very happy with it. Love the track and an absolute mainstay. And I'm very happy that it got extended to 2041. I can't wait though to see how it's gonna be next year with the different cars, with the
with
car
the different
regulations.
regulations. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that is
We're
a
looking forward to that.
very that is a very interesting subject that we can talk about for another day, bro. But yeah, I'm on the same fence as you. Great track. Obviously, obviously, it is a very fast track, and I also love the fact that I can't understand, bro, that Monaco is a longer track and it's 78 laps, and this is the fastest track in the calendar, and it's less laps. I just can't understand why.
Maybe because it requires more top end speed rather
Hmm.
than downforce compared to Monaco. Monaco, you need maximum downforce. You don't have a lot of speed going on there apart from the tunnel section.
Add more pit stops as well.
Absolutely. I mean, mandatory two. I mean, it's a mandatory two stop now with Monaco.
Yeah,
Same with Austria. It's a two stop as well. It's a
it's
two
two
stopper.
stops.
And with Monaco, what you have is it requires a lot of downforce. It's very technical rather than Austria, which you have those long back straights. They have the start finish straight, which is the DRS zone. You have the second straight, which is the DRS zone. And then you have the third, you have the last straight, which is another DRS zone. So you
Yeah,
have three DRS zones compared to one, which is Monaco.
yeah.
And you have more corner average speed rather than Monaco. So I believe that's why it's faster.
Yeah, for sure. And bro, on the subject of extensions, I mean, these track extensions are way more are crazy. I mean, they make Chelsea 7 8 year deals with players
Absolutely.
look peanuts compared to this, quite
Yeah,
literally.
kindergarten deals, bro. That's what they
Yeah,
are.
absolutely,
Kindergarten deals, man.
absolutely, man. But
We said earlier that Miami's extension was outrageous and we all thought it was for the moolah.
the
But what we just seen with Canada and Austria's extensions, very happy with them.
I
Don't get
actually
me
no no
wrong.
no same here. I actually agree with them because they're great tracks and even broke on the subject of excitement compared to the last race, much better as well. But obviously
Absolutely.
still can be better in some parts, right?
Of course, of course. I mean, it could be. Listen, we're welcome with it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. All right, bro. Let's get straight into the action. We're gonna talk about qualifying first, and then we'll head into the race. Um, Qualifying Q1. I mean, there was gonna be a pretty big surprise with George Russell, bro, because he was by the time the Q1 ended, he was in 15th place, and he was just a couple of seconds slower than Lando Norris, who obviously topped the Q1 times, and we all thought that he was going to end up as one of the shock exits for Q1, but actually he was but he got a quicker time and made himself into Q2, but those got knocked out of Q1.
Yeah, he was gonna go from the highest of highs to Canada, in Canada to the lowest of lows in Austria, but thankfully it wasn't the case for him.
Yeah, for sure. But anyhow, so we got Nico Hulkenberg in 20th, Carlos Sainz in 19th, Yuki Tsunoda in 18th, Esteban Ocon in 17th, and Lance Stroll in 16th. We start with Nico Hulkenberg. I think this was definitely the lowest point of this weekend because the race was a completely different
Totally
story.
different. Totally different.
Carlos Sainz gets
Man.
a third Q1
Oh.
exit in a row. Very disappointing
And that was just the start of the weekend.
for Williams. Yeah, unfortunately.
Not just for Sainz, but for Williams, just like you said. That was just the start. We're gonna get into Carlos Sainz in the race. Yuki Tsunoda, though, listen, I'm so disappointed with Yuki.
Very.
We know the situation with Yuki. We know the Red Bull second seat is cursed. We know the car is more suited to Max Verstappen. We know all of this.
We don't want to repeat that shit, basically.
Absolutely. I don't want to go into it for the upteenth time. But he ain't helping himself, isn't he?
No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Actually, bro, before I get into Yuki Tsunoda, with Carlos Sainz, he just never looked comfortable in that Q1 session, even
Yeah,
just with doing the lap
I was
times.
seeing
It was
I was
just
just seeing the replays. In the last two corners, the car was so twitchy. It did look like that.
he looked very uncomfortable in that Williams seat throughout the
Yeah, it
entire of
looked so
Q1. I
twitchy,
think
so twitchy.
the highest he could have managed was 12th and 13th, so he was never safe to begin with. So I'm not surprised he got knocked out of Q1. I'm more surprised that he finished in 19th, man, in the
Yeah,
Williams, which compared to how their season has started, very very disappointing. But just to jump back on Yuki Tsunoda, not good enough. I'm sorry. I mean, yes, we all know that second Red Bull seat is nowhere near the level
we
of
know.
Max Verstappen's seat, but he has to do much better than that, bro. And so far, again, the race is a very similar story for Yuki, but he's
Underwhelming is the word.
very underwhelming. I mean, again,
Underwhelming is the word.
if this happened to Liam Lawson, he would have been straight out the door. He
Yeah,
would have been,
just like it was,
bro.
just like it happened.
And speaking of straight out the door, bro, if he continues at this rate, he's not going to make it to the end of the season. I'm going to be completely honest here.
Listen, I think they shouldn't worry about Yuki. I think they should be worried about the whole team. They should worry about the car. They should worry about the personnel.
Yeah,
The whole 9 yards. That's what they should worry about,
yeah,
rather than Yuki Tsunoda. With all due respect to him,
yeah,
we'll
for
get into
sure.
that more though. We'll get into that
Yeah,
more. Let's keep pushing.
Esteban Ocon in 17th. Again, not many surprises there. And Lance Stroll in 16th. Villeneuve is going from strength to strength at the moment, bro. I mean, I think ever since you've
Oh,
announced that his
more.
Villeneuve Q1, I believe he didn't even go out of
You
Q1.
reckon? You reckon? I didn't notice that. Really?
I believe he hasn't gone out of
That's
Q1.
mad.
That is crazy. And he also missed the race as well
Oh yeah, he did.
because of an injury. Because of an injury, yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah, he
sure.
did. Was it in Spain? Was it?
In Canada, it was in Canada.
No, no, Canada. He came back, didn't he?
Oh no, yeah, in Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. In
yeah, yeah.
Spain.
He did. He did. Oh shoot,
No,
madam.
that is a howler from you, bro.
I I feel so.
Absolutely.
I feel terrible. I feel so terrible.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Take a sip. Take a sip, Malcolm. Take a sip.
Yeah, you have to. You have to, bro.
Fuck it in it.
You gotta hold it. In Q2, it's your same standard drivers, bro. Oliver Berman in 15th, Franco Apinto in 14th, Isaac Hajar in 13th,
I mean,
Alex Albin in 12th, and Fernando
Isaac
Alonso in 11th.
Hajar, Isaac Hajar. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a while since Hajar's been knocked out in Q2, though.
Yeah, but and
I'm gonna get there.
I
I'm gonna
think
get to that.
and it's disappointing as well, bro, because in Q1, both Liam Lawson and Hajar and Isaac Hajar, they sell quick lap times, but obviously
Absolutely.
that's not gonna
But
decide
listen,
qualifying. But
the track ramps up.
yeah,
It happens, You go faster in one session, the next you just slump down.
yeah,
Heat temperatures rise. It is, grip levels get much higher.
all
That's
nine
normal.
yards for sure.
With Alex Albon 12th, I mean,
Again,
even though that was 12th, it's not bad. It's not bad
no,
12th.
it's not the worst result,
It's not
but
the worst. Colapinto again. I mean, it's alright for Colapinto. He's getting better a bit,
he's under
but
pressure,
still.
bro. Not gonna lie.
I just seen something regarding Paul Aaron today, which he might get a shout instead of Colapinto, but it's just a rumor. This is just a rumor. I'm just
Don't
saying.
forget, bro. Briatore has given Colapinto just 5 races, and
Yeah,
so
but
far
clearly,
he's not delivering so far. So he
yeah,
might
not
get
at
the
all.
sack
I
before the summer break.
I think that's more than he already did more than 5 races, no, didn't he?
I
If my
think
memory
he's
is correct.
approaching. I think this was his fourth or fifth race, bro.
Oh, okay, okay, all
Yeah,
right, all right. Colapinto again. Alonso 11th. Then Aston Martin still underperforming.
yeah,
Still
and he missed
underperforming.
out by just a couple, not just by a couple of seconds. He lost out by quite a significant margin over Pierre Gasly, obviously. So
Yeah,
again,
but not
there were
much
there weren't too many
surprises. Apart from
surprises.
Hajar.
There weren't too
Hajar
many
is a bit of a
surprises with
slight of
that.
a surprise. Hajar is a bit
Yeah,
of a
I
slight
agree with that
surprise. I'll give
because
it to Hajar.
with that because yeah, I agree with that because obviously because of his recent form, I think you were expecting him to get into Q3. But listen, I'm not going to go too harsh on him because he's still a rookie. It's
Absolutely.
still obviously it's definitely better than getting knocked out of Q1, bro, for sure. So
Yeah.
compared to other rookies, he's doing a superb job. And our top 10, we'll get to the top 10 first, but then we get into each driver one by one. But Pierre Gasly in 10th, Kimi Antonelli in 9th, Gabriel Bortoleto on 8th. That's a fantastic
Mega.
result for him. So we're going
First
to get,
Q3 appearance for Gabriel
yeah,
Bortoleto. My
yeah.
guy, that was amazing from him.
Yeah, we'll get to him very later on. The big shock was obviously Max Verstappen in 7th and Liam Lawson in 6th, George Russell in 5th.
Mega from Lawson. Mega again as well from
Yeah,
Lawson.
Lewis Hamilton in 4th, Oscar Piastri in 3rd, Charles Leclerc in 2nd, and Lando Norris in pole position. Pierre
Lights out.
Gasly, 10th place in the Alpine. Again, we're going to go back to our point that he's Alpine's only ray of hope at the moment, bro. I mean, given obviously their trouble behind the scenes, Falco Pinto just not performing at the moment. He might obviously get replaced halfway by the time we come to Spa-Francorchamps. Let's hope that's not the case because we don't want any driver to lose their seat. But Pierre Gasly, he's taking that leadership role with ease, bro, without
Absolutely.
any
Since
question.
last
So
year. Since last year.
yeah, definitely. Kimi Antonelli in 9th place. I think I expect a little bit better for him in that Mercedes, and obviously considering the drivers that outqualified him, a little bit underwhelming for him. I was expecting maybe to get himself into the top 5 or maybe in the top 6, top 7 places, but
Pace wasn't there though for Mercedes this weekend
no, it
compared to
wasn't.
2 weeks ago in
And I
Canada.
and I kind of predicted that, bro, because obviously Canada was a track that suited Mercedes' car and pace, and obviously Austria is a completely different track compared to Canada. So I was
Totally.
expecting a little bit of a step backwards for Mercedes this weekend, but still, 9th place is not that great. On the other hand, bro, Gabriel Bortoleto on 8th place. This guy, he
Mega
has
from him.
finally, he has arrived in the sport, and to get into Q3 in the Sauber
That
is
is a
bloody
mega statement.
brilliant. Bloody
Mega.
brilliant for him.
Mega man. Mega. Listen, sometimes we tend to forget that this guy, Bortoleto, won the F3 and F2 championships in his debut season.
The talents are there, bro. His talents are there to be seen.
Sometimes we tend to forget with Bortoleto. I just
Yeah.
seen this in one on Facebook that he did win the F3 and F2 championships in his rookie seasons. So there's a driver there. There is potential. And Bortoleto, we did say many times that we're not surprised here, we're not surprised there because he is driving a Sauber. La,
And
la, la.
he's still very young as well.
Absolutely. So pressure might be a bit off, but listen, to get eighth in a Sauber,
In Austria
mega.
as well. In Austria
As
as
well.
well.
And qualifying, by the way, that's I believe the first Q. Is that the first Q3 appearance by Kick Sauber this season?
I'm not sure. I have to do the research, obviously, but I believe that's definitely
For
his first
Bortolotto,
Q3.
absolutely. For Bortolotto, absolutely.
I don't think I think Sauber maybe once or twice they've only made it to Q3 with
Regardless,
Hulkenberg obviously, but that's a fantastic result for him. Max Verstappen 7. Now what happened, bro?
yeah, yeah,
Obviously Max was on a flying lap. Gasly, however, spun at the start finish line, and that caused a yellow flag, and that pretty much obstructed
yeah.
Max into getting a quick lap because if he had gotten a quick lap, he have easily got himself into the top 5, maybe even into the podium places, bro.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you would say he was unlucky, but at the
Very,
same
very
time,
lucky.
he would be a little bit. He would be quite pissed, bro, because the guy that outqualified him in 6th place was the guy who was the one who lost his seat, his Red Bull seat,
Man,
Liam Lawson.
listen, Liam Lawson, he didn't get much praise on social media. Like all
No,
the rave went to Bortoletto, rightfully so. But Liam Lawson should get as much praise to me as Bortoletto.
as well under the radar quite a bit.
This is, I believe, Liam Lawson's first Q3 appearance this season as well.
Yes,
I believe
definitely,
so. It is
definitely,
because he's been
definitely.
outperformed by Hadjar. So this is mega for Liam Lawson to be in Q3 and to finish sixth and ahead of Max Verstappen. So
And Yuki Tsunoda
to
as
me,
well.
that's mega for Liam Lawson.
And Yuki
Absolutely, and
Tsunoda
Yuki
as well.
Tsunoda much better than Yuki Tsunoda because Yuki
Yeah,
Tsunoda didn't even
definitely.
get out of Q1.
In the trenches, bro.
Listen, if
The
Yuki
trenches.
Tsunoda, Yuki Tsunoda, the trenches is crazy out here. Yo, the trenches at Red Bull
Yeah,
is
for
crazy
sure.
because that could
Massively.
have been easily been Yuki Tsunoda instead of Lawson,
Definitely.
easily in the Racing
But then
Bulls.
again, bro, if Lawson was in that,
George Russell,
but bro,
yeah,
listen, if Lawson was in that Red Bull seat, he would have. I think he would have still struggled. Not gonna lie. But then again, we've been in
Yeah,
that
absolutely,
conversation that
absolutely.
that second Red Bull seat has been cursed. But in fifth, George Russell.
If you know,
What if?
if my brother had a if my brother had a vagina, I'd
Yeah,
call him my
never
sister.
mind that. Oh, never mind, never mind. But no, going back to my point,
You know how the
obviously,
saying goes.
um, yeah, obviously. But no, repeating my point again with George Russell, I had the feeling that Mercedes we're gonna
Yeah,
regress this weekend, and not surprised that Russell got a P5. Not the worst result again, but I think he would have obviously got himself into the podium places for sure. Um, Lewis Hamilton in fourth, bro. What do you think?
I mean, listen, he had a bit of a messy moment in the last lap of quali, which I think would have got him in the on the front row. But listen, compared to practice, on practice, during practice, the car wasn't driving well at all. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect to be in the top four, and for both Ferraris to be in the top four. I really did not expect it.
But listen, bro, I think from practice, the signs were showing that you were gonna get into those top four places. I think this weekend, and the results
I think it
showed
was
then.
still. I'm being honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Practice, it does show sometimes. Sometimes maybe there's some people who do the thing
Yeah,
called sandbagging. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
They hide their true pace. I'm gonna be honest. I did not expect it. Very happy with it. Lewis Hamilton P4. Don't Not gonna complain. Piastri P3 though. Piastri.
That's
Piastri.
might that's a bit, it was a bit of a stink for him because I think obviously he missed out on the runner-up spot by just a hundredth of a second, bro, quite literally.
Yeah.
I think everyone expected that Piastri was going to start the front row of the grid, but Leclerc just got the edge out of him, and that was a fantastic lap from him.
Halle fucking Lulia. Finally, a Ferrari on the front row, man.
That's your first, yeah, definitely.
First front row of the season, bro. Of the season.
No rush.
Finally. No rush. Slow touch. Right arm by. I
No,
go
but
cut.
that was a brilliant lap for Charles Leclerc, bro. I mean, obviously
Absolutely.
to
Listen.
out-qualify Piastri is always an advantage for.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen. Absolutely. Listen. Very happy with that. I did not expect it, just like I said. Did not expect it. But finally, a front row start in a race after the 10th round of the season. But
No, but obviously Lando Norris in pole position and not by just
5 tenths.
not just a hundredth of a second. He got pole
He
position by a significant margin and with a
he
1:3.971. That was a superb lap from him.
man them he blitzed the competition, Lando Norris. And
Yeah.
listen, he silenced a lot of critics with that lap after what happened in Canada 2 weeks ago.
And even more so with the race, bro, which we're gonna get to
Absolutely,
very quickly. But
absolutely.
that was a superb lap from
Yeah,
Lando.
absolutely, mega man.
And listen, I think those were the signs that he was gonna silence a lot of for his haters. Number one, definitely most critics as well, including myself as well. So
Yeah,
I legitimately thought that Piastri was gonna get the edge out of his teammate and he would get pole position, but that was a superb lap from Lando, and he was showing it from the get go of this weekend with obviously with both practice 1, 2, and with practice as well. So, and what I found as well with Lando, bro, with his qualifying lap was that he never looked like he was in trouble in that. He looked
nah,
very
he was at ease,
confident.
bro. He was at ease.
Obviously, the car helped him because I think that obviously with how the season is going, and even also with the track how it's favored, that McLaren is obviously going to help. But overall, no, obviously another superb qualifying performance from the team. That's another pole position for one of my boys, Lando. Piastri, a little. I mean, not get that second place. Might it does slightly sting a little bit, but not gonna complain, bro. First and
You
third
shouldn't.
to
You shouldn't.
to start is brilliant, definitely. And
Absolutely.
with that, bro, let's get straight into the race. So, obviously, guys, before we get into the race, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, make sure to follow us on our social media pages: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Comment, subscribe on each episode with the polls on Spotify specifically. Let us know your thoughts on each poll that we publish every single episode. The race,
Ooh.
before the race, it
Yeah,
it started like the if chaos applied to one race, it would be the start of the Austrian Grand Prix, because what
absolutely,
happened, bro,
absolutely.
was Carlos Sainz stalled at the formation up quite literally.
Yeah, he got stuck in first gear.
He got stuck in first gear, and I say crazy, bro, because the marshals had like 30 to 35 seconds to get that car moving,
They,
and
they
by
didn't
the
do a damn thing.
and they
They
did,
didn't do a damn thing.
they just stood like this, quite
They
literally.
just stood like statues because they thought that maybe he'll find a way. They waited long enough and they were like, listen, but
But
they waited too long.
they
They
waited too
waited
long,
too
bro,
long.
because by the time Lando was about to make the start finish straight, Sainz finally got going, and obviously the race start had to be aborted because those are standard procedures. Sainz had to get into the pit, and his brakes were on fire then as a
Yeah,
result of
his
all
rear
that.
brakes,
And
his rear brakes were on fire, and he could not start the race.
there was some optimism that maybe the Williams engineers the Williams
Yeah,
engineers were gonna
it
get
was
that
always
car
gonna be tough.
moving, but it was always going to be tough.
It
And
was always gonna be tough.
Sainz had a DNS, and I believe that's his first DNS of the season. And the race obviously
Yeah, that is his first DNS
had
of the season.
the race had a 10-minute delay because obviously because obviously for the 10-minute starting procedures. But even worse, bro, Carlos Sainz didn't even start the race.
That's a tough one, man.
That must be really tough for him, bro.
That sucks, bro. That sucks. That must have sucked for him. Not just for him, but even for Williams in general. For to maybe try and propel them back up after the couple of rough weekends that they've had. That's gonna sting, man. That's really
It
gonna
does.
sting, and it's gonna
It
get
does.
even worse in the race for Williams, which we're gonna get into. But
Yeah.
before that, the race 10 minutes later, it started at 15:15, which is
Quarter past
three
three is the same. Also has
exactly
she has the same time as right here
as
in Mod.
us as us 3:15 p.m.
And the
started.
start was chaotic as well, bro.
It was. Listen,
Yeah, let's go through it.
Lando Norris. The race started. Lando Norris defended Charles Leclerc brilliantly. I thought he brilliantly defended
Yeah,
him, which allowed Piastri to sweep around the outside and allowed Piastri to overtake Charles Leclerc to make the McLaren 1-2. I appreciated that. I
yeah.
thought that was a great move. That was a
Because
great move.
because initially, bro, Lando didn't make the best of starts, but
Yeah,
obviously,
as usual. As
yeah,
usual.
as per usual, because he's known to make poor starts. But
But listen,
no, very happy with our starts.
Lando Norris did what he had to do. It was clean. It was fair.
Yeah,
I have no issues with that. I have
paved
zero issues
paved the
with
way
that.
obviously for his teammate to get past Leclerc. But bro, the chaos
That's what I was
happened
saying.
at the middle portion of the grid.
Absolutely, because once they were getting on the up of the hill to turn what it is
Turn three,
turn three. That's
turn
turn
three,
three. Of course, Verstappen was turning. Antonelli came in
like a
steaming.
fucking torpedo.
Yeah, huge lockup and went straight into Max Verstappen, which put him, Antonelli, and Verstappen out
Oh.
of the race. Now look, I think he got caught, bro. I don't know. He thought maybe he was playing 55 because I do that kind of move on F125.
That's a kamikaze move, bro. Let's be
On
honest.
at least on every F125, I can use the rewind feature, as if nothing ever happened.
Can't do that
But
yet.
absolutely, it's real life. But
Yeah, no, no.
I mean,
It's on
I think he
Antonelli.
got caught out there.
It's a rookie mistake, bro. But
Yeah, he got caught.
let's get straight to it. It's a rookie. It's one hundred
It is.
percent on Kimi Antonelli. It's a rookie mistake. Obviously, listen, he's gonna learn from this 100%. And bro, I think that is the calmness I've seen from Max getting knocked out of the race. Now maybe it's because he got taken out
Might
by a
as well.
rookie, or maybe because he's starting to check out, which is like the conversation we were having before we started recording this
I
episode, bro.
believe it's the letter. I believe it's the letter.
You think so?
I firmly listen. You can see him hanging around the GT3 paddocks and driving GT3 cars. He's
Hmm.
taking a big interest in the GT3 series, and he always loved participating in other driving disciplines. He
And
always
he's
had a
also, bro, and also, there are rumors that he might make a move to Mercedes because Toto Wolff showed interest. He has admitted it. That could be a move that maybe a Mercedes moves on the cards for him. Who
yeah, but
knows?
who is he gonna replace?
The one I can see is George Russell, but
Not
That would be crazy, bro, if that
Bro,
happens.
listen, that would be crazy for the chess because I believe I saw a clause, I saw something that Max Verstappen has a clause in his contract that if certain demands aren't met where he is or where they are in the championship, he can dip.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, are Mercedes and Max Verstappen playing 4D chess out here?
They could be, but
Listen,
it could be a possibility. I'm not ruling that out because obviously there were some other moves that I was taking with a pinch of salt. But with this, if Toto Wolff admitted it, then this could be on the cards. I'm not gonna lie. But no, I actually get your point, bro. Like, okay, obviously he got going back to the race. Obviously Max got taken out by a rookie, so he can't be too harsh on him. But he may start to check out. That
he's
could
been
be the reason
showing
because
signs. He's been showing signs as of late. In the previous years, prior years, he always stated it that what he ever had to do in Formula One, he did it. He won
yeah,
the championship, ended up winning four.
yeah,
He won races. He won a race. He won races. He broke record. He broke records.
yeah.
So everything he does now is a bonus to him. And listen, fair play to him. If that's
Yeah,
what he thinks, fair play to him.
and listen, bro, he's been carrying the team now for the past 4 or 5 seasons now,
His
and this has been the worst, his biggest, his toughest season so far by a country mile.
his back is crying from the amount
Yeah,
of carrying he's been doing, man.
for sure.
His back is crying.
Yeah,
His spinal cord is all messed up.
he needs to have like a proper rest, bro. Like the same hike I was doing yesterday, quite
Yeah,
literally. So
give my man a chiropractor
man,
for
man
fucking.
needs a rest, bro. Have I ever seen one?
Get my man a chiropractor for all the carrying he's been doing.
No, but I listen. Obviously, I was harsh. I've been harsh a little bit on Max late, but for this race, he was just very unlucky. He was just caught
Absolutely,
out at the
absolutely.
moment. For Kimi Antonelli, that's on him, unfortunately. I mean, that is 100% a rookie mistake. Obviously, he literally did a kamikaze move on Verstappen, bro. Quite literally,
From the highest of
he
highs last week, 2 weeks ago, to the lowest of
yeah,
lows here.
yeah, obviously, look, if you're gonna go on the right hand side and you're gonna break late, there's only gonna be one outcome with that, bro.
Absolutely.
So
As soon as we saw that on the telly, yep.
yeah, apologies for
After
TV.
that,
Back to the
after that,
race. Anyways,
after that, safety car comes out. Of course, obviously, it took.
lasted just a few laps.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised by that. I was surprised it only lasted for a few laps. It
Yeah,
wasn't much. Pardon me. Sorry. Safety car restart. Clean getaway. Piastri in the first corner cleared Charles Leclerc by a second, which put Piastri right behind Norris. Pause. In the
and the
DRS,
heart
got
attacks began.
cleared, and Charles Leclerc got cleared. He got dropped like a bad habit, bro.
Yeah,
He got
sheer and shit.
dropped. He got dropped like a college girl, like a college dropout. Sorry, that's how he got dropped, brother. He got dropped hard. I
High
felt
school
sorry for
shit.
Charles, man. I felt sorry for him. He got dropped. He
Obviously,
got dropped like a college dropout.
that car had no match with the McLarens, bro. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
listen. Mind you, a day prior, Charles Leclerc was saying, I want to make life a living hell for the McLarens. As soon as I read that, I'm like, brother, watch your mouth.
What are you smoking, bro?
We're
What
not in
are
that
you
position
smoking?
yet. We're not in that position
You're
yet.
still very far behind to reach that goal. Let's be honest now.
I understand enthusiasm, I understand optimism, but I understand delusion as well.
You got to admire. Listen, bro. You got to admire his. You got to admire
I admire
his
it.
belief. You have to
I
admire
admire
it.
it. I admire it. I admire it. Trust me, I wish I had half of his belief. But there's a difference between being optimistic and being delusional.
Yeah, for sure,
There,
100%.
there's
I
a
agree on
difference.
that. I agree.
But listen, after that, Charles Leclerc, he got dropped like a bad habit. And it
Yeah,
was for about 19 laps. It was a battle between Norris and Piastri for the top two.
blood pressure
19
test
laps.
galore. Blood
You
pressure
take.
test galore.
Floor is yours here on this
No,
one.
listen. Look, listen. Both Lando and Oscar are fighting for the championship, so I was expecting a duel between these two drivers. But the worst thing I want, the last thing I want to see is these two drivers collide with each other. I mean, they already did it
Papaya
2 weeks
Rose.
ago. Papaya Rus, exactly. But
Papaya Rose.
thankfully, listen. There was one moment where Piastri locked up and nearly did karma on Lando, quite literally.
Lucky.
I mean, my
Lucky.
heart, bro, my heart there stopped for 1 second. I'm gonna be fucking honest now. My
I
heart
believe
nearly
you. I
stopped
believe
with
you.
there because that lockup was crazy from Piastri.
Yeah,
But
it was so
thankfully,
close.
it was nice. It was competitive racing between the two drivers, and it was clean racing at the same time. But bro, I think with the way this season is going, that's not the last time we're gonna see those two
No, absolutely.
together.
Listen, the battle's only going to
But
heat up even more.
the bat's gonna heat up even more, bro, and especially obviously, bro, but obviously Verstappen getting knocked out of the race. This was obviously a golden opportunity for both drivers to score to score maximum points. And thankfully, we did exactly just that. But bro, want to get more to the race? I think after that,
After that, nothing.
nothing
Because
really much
listen,
happened.
because the race was between the top two, between Norris and Piastri,
Yeah,
until the first round of pit stops. After the first round of pit stops, the top four was unchanged, with Norris first, Piastri second, Leclerc third, Hamilton fourth, Russell in fifth. The top five, as
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, definitely.
Lawson started P6, finished P.
Yeah,
Alonso, there was some overtaking going on in the midfield. There was a nice little battle brewing between Alonso and Bortoleto. Alonso part of Bortoletto's management team, which is fun, which was fun to see.
bit bizarre as well that they're
And
facing
other
each
than
other
that,
off
I
as
mean,
well.
yeah, listen. And the other battle that was going on was in P15 to P16 between Colapinto and Yuki Tsunoda, which ended up with both of them ended up colliding,
Yeah, on lap
and Yuki
30,
Tsunoda suffered. Yeah, and Yuki Tsunoda suffered a 10 place. No, sorry, a 10.
a 10
What you
second
call it?
stop and
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, bro, I was like me talking to Yuki. I'm like, bro, just retire the car. What are you doing?
that was
Just retire the car.
and that was needless from Yuki, bro, because
Yeah.
obviously that was Gasly's score there all day long, and
Oh, by
obviously
the way,
that compromised Gasly's race as well.
that was with Colapinto.
Colapinto, excuse me, Colapinto.
That
Sorry,
was
no, 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 no,
Colapinto.
not Pierre
And
Gasly, for
listen, and
Colapinto.
listen. Speaking of Yuki Tsunoda, 16th, Verstappen was out of the race. A Red Bull outside the top 10.
And
Man them.
I've read a stat as well. If Verstappen wasn't in that team, Red Bull would be bottom of the constructors championships. And I'm not inventing that shit up.
I
That is that
no
is
no no
that is a
no
fact, and
facts.
that is a stat,
That's facts.
and that is a stat.
Facts.
that
Facts.
team
Facts. Absolutely
would
facts.
that team would be bottom of the championship. That shows how much that Red Bull is struggling this season, and it shows how much of a one-man team that Red Bull team is at the moment. Because
Listen, I saw a stat as well with Nico Hulkenberg. Since Monza
yeah,
2024, Hulkenberg has scored the same amount of points as the previous three Red Bull drivers, second
that
seed drive that took the Red Bull second
is
seed. That is
fucking outrageous.
that is Sergio Perez, Liam Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda.
Three
And
drivers,
and 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 Hulkenberg did it in a Haas and a Sauber.
two of the most underperforming cars on the grid. Let's be honest now.
Man, them. Listen, that's a crazy stat. Excuse me, that's a
It's
crazy
just
stat.
it's a crazy stat. No, and even with Yuki Tsunoda, he just didn't got going at all, bro. I mean, rule out the contact he made with Franco Pinto. He did fuck all in that entire race.
Yeah,
Quite literally nothing.
he technically finished last.
He technically
Technically,
he technically finished last because obviously there were a couple of cars that retired from the race, but it's just not good enough from Yuki
nowhere
Tsunoda. Yes,
near.
we are. Listen, we know. Listen, obviously we know how that second Red Bull seat is, but you have to make some effort at the very least, bro. Not like it's absolutely nothing with that car,
It is underwhelming. It is underwhelming, very
bro. It's
underwhelming.
not looking it's not looking good for
And
Yuki at the moment.
Sergio Perez. Listen, speaking of Sergio Perez, he just came out. I believe was it this week or last week? He said that he feels that Red Bull deep down made a mistake by removing him.
And it's showing that is a mistake as well. Obviously, listen,
He's not
Perez.
lying. He's not lying.
Listen, bro, Perez
I don't think
is
he's lying.
Bears must be laughing his ass off in his home in Mexico right now.
Yeah,
But
like drinking tequila, eating
tequila,
nachos.
tequila sunrise, fucking
Yeah, Yeah, he's sipping tequila like crazy. He eating all the nachos, the burritos, the salsa dips, the whole 9 yards, man. The tacos.
Listen,
Oh, my
we all
favorite,
listen,
bro.
listen.
But he doing all of that,
Yeah.
and he
Anyways,
is laughing his way. He is laughing his way to the bank and seeing this Red Bull debacle.
and it's just this whole team is just crumbling down before our eyes, bro. Quite literally. Because
And
obviously,
then
listen.
if
Obviously, Verstappen
Verstappen,
unlucky, but if that guy leaves that team, bro, they are
they
finished.
are
They are
screwed.
finished. They are
They
cooked.
are they are cooked. They are screwed. They are so
If
screwed.
Verstappen leaves, that team is finished. Because
Yeah.
I cannot see who replaces Verstappen. Could be Isaac Hadjar with the way his form is at the moment with the Racing Bull team, but at the same time, I'm very worried for him to get that Red Bull seat because we all know that he's gonna struggle in that Red Bull seat.
Could this be because listen, because we keep saying Verstappen, if Verstappen leaves, Red Bull are
Yeah.
cooked. Is this the consequence? Sorry, the consequence of putting focus on just one driver throughout these past 4 years?
I would agree with that because
Because that could be a consequence.
that car we've said time and time again that car is purposely designed for Max. We've been saying this time and time again, and it's showing every single weekend, every single race. It is showing.
That could be the consequence of designing a car specifically for one driver.
No, but at the same time, that second driver, it could be anyone. They had to
Put Moses in.
perform.
Well, you could put
There's
Moses
no
in that
hope.
second seat.
There's no
Nah,
hope.
bro. You could put Moses. He'll cross oceans, brother, but he won't drive that Red Bull second seat and get a top five finish to save his life.
And also, bro, another team who had a similar who had a similar weekend as Red Bull, Williams, because
Yeah,
Sainz didn't even start the race, and Alex Albon had issues had issues with his car, and he had to also retire from the race. I mean, that's the third DNF in a row for Alex Albon.
yeah. Forget back to back like that's back to back to back like Alex Albon, bro. Jesus Christ, I feel so sorry for him. Again, three DNFs in a row. Williams with a shocking weekend, man. Absolutely shocking. It's a stinker.
What's going on with Williams, bro? At the moment, it's just like that early season form has just vaporized like
Yeah.
thin air, quite literally.
Yeah, it just dipped. It went left like the music industry, bro. I don't know. I really don't know. It was a shocking weekend. We want to see better next weekend. Listen, Williams, it's their home Grand Prix, William. It's their home Grand Prix in Silverstone, yeah.
It's not just them. It's for us as well. It's Hamilton's
It's
home
for
Grand Prix. It's
McLaren's, Hamilton's,
It's
but
Berman's home Grand Prix as well.
it's a lot of home Grand Prix. Williams is one of them. I mean, Williams, they need to perform. They got to
They
perform
have
at
to bounce
Silverstone.
back. They have to bounce back in Silverstone, bro, because this is
They
not a
got
one-off.
bro.
This is not a blip. This is a consistent run of form now that they haven't finished any races.
It is looking severe, but listen, they gotta bounce back like Big Sean, bro. They gotta
Yeah,
come out
they have
swinging.
to. They have to.
Commiserations for Alex Albon, commiserations for Science Hell, commiserations for Williams in general.
Because everyone wants Williams to perform
Commiserations.
well, bro. Because everyone,
Commiserations. That's what I have to
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Commiserations.
exactly. We all want Williams to perform well, guys. I mean, obviously, since how their season has started at the moment, we really want them to remain consistent. But as of right now, it's just a big blip. There's a lot of issues with the car at the moment, and let's hope that Silverstone could be that return to form for them. It could be fitting as well because it would be fitting because that's their home Grand Prix as well. So yeah, very disappointing for Williams. I mean, they are with Red Bull. They are get to that very soon. But other than that, bro,
I want to get into the top 10. I want to get into the top 10.
yeah,
I would like to start with Esteban Ocon. Very good recovery. Finished in the points.
yeah,
Finished 10th. Very good. He had a solid race, Esteban Ocon.
yeah. One point.
That's
One
super solid.
point is a good point for them.
But an even more solid race was
Sauber
Nico Hulkenberg.
and
P20.
Bortoletto.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Let's not forget Nico Hulkenberg started plumb last, 20th, finishing in the points again, P9, and P8 Gabriel Bortoletto, where he started, he finished. Both Saubers in the points. That is mega for them. Listen, they are building for next season for Audi. These are massive steps for
And
them.
we said that this is a transitional season for Sauber, but the way how their
I
season is
mean,
going,
I,
doubt it.
I, yeah, listen, much better than last season
Yeah,
already.
for sure.
I mean, listen, the fact that they scored points in the first two races,
That's
I
already
believe, of the
enough.
season, already an improvement. But this was absolutely brilliant for them. Nico Hulkenberg, mega signing for them, so underrated, and Bortoletto finally showing his promise.
He's
A
alright.
maiden Q3 appearance and his first ever points in Formula One.
I'm not too surprised. As well. Obviously, Bortoleto is
No.
the first Brazilian driver since Felipe Massa to score points
Yes.
in an F1 race. But bro, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too surprised that Sauber got a top 10 finish because they got the talent is there. They got two incredibly talented drivers there. You've got one of the most promising rookies in the sport with Gabriel Bortoleto. I mean, let's keep in mind this is a Formula 2 and 3 world champion. Last year, fresh from the back from winning his Formula 2 championship. From his
Yeah.
Formula 2 championship in his debut season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's keep in mind.
Both F2.
And Nico Hulkenberg, one of the most underrated drivers I've ever seen in the entire sport. The fact that this guy hasn't got a shot at a top team
Criminal.
baffles my mind, bro. Because
Criminal.
he performs consistently in qualifying, and he is a guaranteed point scorer when given the right car on race day. He's a
We
good
hope.
driver. He is a
We
talented
hope
driver, bro.
the day that Nico Hulkenberg gets a podium, the whole world will rejoice.
Yeah,
The,
definitely.
the day Nico Hulkenberg gets a podium, the whole world will rejoice.
And
Listen,
also,
you mentioned the drivers of Hulkenberg and Bortoletto. They have the perfect blend of youth, talent, and experience.
yeah, they have
Perfect blend, and this is building solid foundations for them next season.
for sure.
It is building solid foundations, and as well, listen, they've made some great appointments off track.
Jonathan Weekly and
Matteo,
Mattia Binotto.
Matteo Benotto, of all people, Matteo Benotto. But listen,
He's done a good
he
job.
may be proving he's proving dividends. So raises the question. We're going to talk about this another time. I just want to ask this question. Matteo Benotto was garbage with Ferrari. Food for thought. Food for thought. Food for thought. We'll
That's
have a conversation another time.
a
That's a
conversation for
conversation for
another
another
day.
day. That's a conversation for another day.
Fernando Alonso in seventh place, back
Again,
just like the
as well.
Saubers, consistent.
Absolutely. He started outside the top 10. Great battles between him and Bortoletto throughout the race, just like we already mentioned.
And that
Alonso again
start
in the points. That's great to see.
and that start of the season, bro, is behind him now. He's getting seven
Absolutely.
of the points now, which is
Thank God.
fantastic to see. Liam Lawson sixth place, bro.
Yeah.
That easily his best result of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He needed that Liam Lawson. After everything he's been through this season, started sixth, finished sixth, solid race. Brilliant by him. Absolutely brilliant. And to me, he should be getting as much praise as Bortoletto is getting, in my
I
opinion.
am 100%,
Absolutely.
100%. And the top five, bro, largely unchanged.
Yeah, unchanged since lap one. Unchanged. Listen,
Except the top
Russell,
three. The top three is the only difference.
Russell was in no man's land. Hamilton, no man's land. Leclerc, he got dropped by 19 seconds, and it was
Another
just a
one,
race.
too, baby.
It was just a rat race between the two McLarens. Listen,
Complete
fully
domination.
deserved. Lando Norris shut up a lot of critics. He shut you up, by the way.
No, yeah, definitely. He
He shut
has.
you up.
Hang on.
Brilliant race.
Yeah.
Brilliant race. And many think because I'm a Ferrari fan, I wanted Lando Norris and Piastri to crash in that lap 11. Was it lap
Fuck
11?
yourself.
No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. No, I didn't
Oh,
want
you
to.
want? Oh, you want to? Okay.
I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to. I mean, I didn't want to. Many did want to. I didn't want to because I want Ferrari to win a race
Understand?
on
Yeah.
pure merit. Just like
Not
I
on luck
told you
based.
before the episode. I want to win the race on pure merit. I would have taken the win, don't get me wrong, but I want to win on pure merit. And at the moment, yes, we had an upgrade, apparently. Yes, there's positivity coming out of the paddock and also the drivers, but nowhere near. Nowhere near. The gulf in comparison in
Yeah.
performance is crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that
Fully deserved.
McLaren.
Happy with the P3 for Leclerc. Hamilton also happy with the P4, but
That
Floor is yours, buddy.
McLaren,
Floor is yours.
we have a rocket ship, guys. The McLaren, our car is a rocket ship, quite literally, because the race was between Lando and Oscar, but the gap, bro, as you said, 19 seconds, and that's not the first time that we had such a significant gap.
And mind you,
Ridiculous,
and mind you,
ridiculous.
that's the first McLaren driver to win an Austria since David Coulthard in
Yeah,
2010.
another interesting stat right there. It's
20.
the way, bro, the way how everything is panning out, it looks like McLaren is going to dominate for the years to come, just like Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Sebastian Vettel have done over the last couple of years. Obviously, the big factor in mind is the new regulations coming up in 2026. That could be the deciding factor of if we're gonna if we have to see how the car will perform with the new regulations. But as of right now, bro, I just can't see anyone else getting
Yeah,
close to that
listen.
McLaren. The
Yeah,
only
listen.
the only one I can see is Max Verstappen, if I'm being completely honest. But
Yeah, he can't do shit by
he
himself.
can't do everything by himself, as I
He
said.
can't do shit. Yeah, I think this is a tough ask for Verstappen. There's no way.
It's
There's
looking
no
very
way.
difficult.
Surely, bro. If listen, picture this. If Verstappen somehow makes Verstappen and Red Bull make a miraculous comeback, and Verstappen manages. Listen, the constructors is yours. We know that. The constructors is yours. We know that.
Bar any miracles, bro. Yes, it is. I mean,
It's yours. I'm not even gonna debate that.
I know it's very early on, but
No debate. I'm not
there's,
debating that.
it's looking likely that we're gonna take the constructors, bro.
I don't believe this, but if somehow Verstappen and Red Bull make a miraculous comeback of sorts, and Verstappen snatches the world championship underneath Norris and Piastri's hands, Verstappen can just retire from the sport then and there.
Yeah, he has to. He has to at the point. But would do
But
again, bro.
it's a reach and a half.
It's a reach and a half.
It's a reach and a half
Happy
because
days. It's happy days, bro. Happy days.
you should be happy.
If you are a McLaren fan like I am, it's happy days because we're just going upwards and upwards and upwards in the right direction. Because again, we have two young drivers. The Obviously Zach Brown and Andreas Stella and the entire backroom staff deserve a lot of credit because of how excellent our car is at the moment. But getting to the drivers, Lando Norris has silenced a lot of critics this weekend, including myself, because I was critical of him in these last couple of races. However, there is still a long way to the season to go. Let's see how he will perform in the next race in Silverstone and even the next couple of races, just to see if he will remain consistent. And I think he will remain consistent. But
Well,
we've been, bro, we've been in this situation that Lando had a superb weekend, and then the following
I
weekend
mean, listen,
he'll do a bit of a howler from him. But we'll have to
listen,
wait and see on that.
listen. At the moment, with how things are, what's the worst that could happen? He loses the championship to his McLaren teammate Piastri.
Yeah, and that's my concern, bro. My only concern, because listen, I don't even mind who wins the title. If it's Lando or Oscar, if I would choose a preference, I'd maybe go with Oscar Piastri with the way how he has performed and behaved this season. That's why I would go with Oscar. But at the end of the day, listen, both of these drivers drive for the team I support, so I don't mind at the end of the day who wins the title. As long as it's a McLaren driver, I'm very happy. But no, with Lando, he completely took over this weekend, bro. From practice to qualifying and the race. It's a super performance from him. The pit stops were the pit stops. I think the first couple of stops were a bit slow. Not gonna lie,
Yeah, yeah, I believe it was around 3.4, 3.2s.
and that compromised a little bit of Oscar Piastri's entire race strategy to get the race win. But
Actually,
Lando, yeah, the backlappers, yeah, and that's back to back like Drake as well, bro. That Piastri's race got compromised by the back trackers,
back,
so you got
back
so
markers.
by the back markers. So unlucky, but no, another perfect weekend for us, bro. It's as
Oh,
simple as
absolutely.
that. Maximum points in the back. Our main rival is getting nada, quite literally. for the constructor side. So obviously, big advantage to us in the driver standings and in the constructor standings. It's a 10 out of 10 weekend, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
what more can you
absolutely.
ask for as a McLaren fan? So
Not much more.
happy days, bro. I'm thrilled at this point. So very happy. Let's hope this continues on. And for all those people that want us to fake and go fuck yourselves, that's all I can say. Because because literally, bro, that's because a friend of mine. Shout out to James, by
Oh.
the way. Shout out to James, by the way. He told me the exact same words that we were dominating the entire season. There's nothing you can do about
um,
that, bro.
what does this? What team does this
He, he
James guy support?
he's a Verstappen fan, bro.
Oh, he's a Verstappen fan. Did he forget 22? Did he
Yeah,
forget 23?
yeah. Let's all
Got
rewind
there.
that
Come on
again.
now.
I'm smelling jealousy on now.
Shout to your friend James. Shout to him. I don't know
Yeah.
him, but he shouldn't be the one talking. If I'm being
Listen,
honest.
one last message to the haters. We are here to stay. We are here to stay. You can clip this. You can save this for later. If this
Oh.
somehow turns in the opposite direction, I don't give a shit. We are in the top of the world at the moment, and let's hope this continue. That's all I can say on that.
Jan, listen. Knowing your history
Oh
in
no!
kerosene,
We're gonna get into the kerosene stuff, right? No, that
listen.
no kerosene is gonna happen to this, bro. Okay?
Okay, okay. Let's
No
see.
kerosene is
We'll
gonna
see.
happen to this.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Look,
I
listen,
hope. I
listen,
hope.
listen. Hang on a minute, if this season goes tits up, you can save this clip, insert in one of our episodes, and I will gladly hold it.
Oh,
Okay? I will
I
hold
will.
that.
I will record the shit out of it. I swear to God. And every time I see you, I'll play it. I
I
swear
am
to
gonna be
God.
listen, bro. I'm gonna be as shameless as I can at the moment because my team is going so well. So
Yeah, you have every right. You have every
and
right.
I have every right to be because it's about damn time that we are at the top of
I
we are at
wish
the
I
top
could
of the
say the
pie.
same. I wish I could say the same.
It's
I
about
really
damn time,
wish.
bro, because we have been in the trenches since the beginning of 2010. We have been in the trenches, so it's about fucking time that we are in the top of the pile. Let's hope this continues because the future is bright. Zach Brown and Andreas the head. Bro, your team again. I mean, not much complaints with that, right? Considering that Fred Vasseur missed the race as well, by the way, due to
Yeah,
personal
due
reasons.
to all I know is due to personal reasons. That's all I know. And Jerome D'Ambrosio was the team principal throughout this whole weekend.
Former Minardi driver.
Oh, Jerome D'Ambrosio, really?
Yeah, he was.
That's good to know.
Um, Winners of the day or driver of the day, bro. What's your pick
I mean, listen. I could easily go with Lando Norris. I want to go with Bortoletto, bro.
for Sauber?
Absolutely, I want to go Bortoletto. Hell, I want to go
It's a good
Sauber in
shout.
general. I want to go Sauber. I want to go Sauber as a whole. Sauber as a whole.
I would pick Sauber, but since I okay, there may be obviously a recency bias because obviously my pick is going to be McLaren. But since we don't no, hang on a minute,
No,
bro.
go ahead. No,
Since we
I
don't
didn't say a
since we
word.
don't
I didn't say a word.
since we don't go with the same pick, I'm gonna go with McLaren. You go with Sauber for winners of the for driver of the day or winners of the day. Losers, this could be either Williams or Red Bull, but considering
I'm gonna go
with
with
the
Williams. I'm
pressure,
sorry.
I'm with Red Bull. Red Bull for me.
I'm gonna go with Williams. I'm gonna go with Williams, man.
Yeah.
Back to back to back DNFs for Albon. Sainz didn't even start the race. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
Now with Red Bull the same. They have to really get going with Silverstone, bro. But both happen he will deliver for sure. But Yuki Tsunoda in particular, he has to step the fuck up, man. Because
Listen.
if he doesn't keep on going, he's gonna get the sack.
Yuki,
I can see it coming from a mile ahead.
Yuki needs to start by at least getting a top 10 start finish.
He's even getting that at the moment, bro.
At least, baby steps. Hell, at least get out of Q1.
Hmm.
Q1 alive,
Yeah,
bro. Without a
yeah,
scratch. Like
definitely.
Snoop Dogg in Death Row. Get out of Q1 alive. Without a scratch, at least.
And he's also my dick of the day, bro, because of that. No, actually, dick of the day it could go to Antonelli, bro, for dick of the day, actually.
I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on the kid, but
Nah, but listen, he can't do a mistake like that, bro. Quite literally.
that's like me on F125. It is a dick move. It is
So yeah,
ridiculous.
Dick of Day is gonna be our two Red Bull drivers. You're gonna go with no, you're gonna go with Antonelli. I'm gonna go
I'm gonna go.
with Tsunoda
Yeah,
and
I would do
Clown.
that move on F125. So it is a
Yeah,
dick move. Clown,
and with Clown of the day. Ooh,
clown. I mean, who is it, bro?
I think
None.
no one, none. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys, that is the weekend. Our top 10 is pretty unchanged in the top in for most part. Oscar Piastri does stay on top with 216 points. However, Lando Norris with that race win um, reduces the gap now that to 15 points. So that title challenge is looking a little bit spicy now between two McLarens. Lando Norris with 201 points and Oscar Piastri with 216 points. Excuse me. Max Verstappen remains in third with 155 points. George Russell in fourth with 146 points. The two Ferraris, Leclerc and Hamilton, with 119 points and 91 points in fifth and sixth. Kimi Antonelli remains in seventh with 63 points. Alex Albon also remains in eighth with 42 points. Esteban Ocon in ninth with 23 points, and Nico Hulkenberg now overtakes Isaac Hadjar in 10th with just a single point ahead of him with 22 points. Um, Constructors, bro. McLaren's gap between them and Ferrari just continues to grow and grow and grow within every single race. 417 points. It could be a record, bro, if it continues with this manner.
Man, them. Listen, just like I said, I don't believe that. I believe the constructor's title is yours already. I
It
firmly believe that.
does look like it. Yeah, McLaren on top with 417 points. Ferrari remain in second with 210 points. Mercedes are just a point behind with 209 points. So that battle for the second place is looking very, very spicy. Red Bull remain in fourth with 162 points. Williams also remain in fifth with 55 points. Racing Bulls in sixth with 36 points. They've overtaken Haas now with that points finish, who that are in seventh with 29 points. Aston Martin a point behind with 28 points. Sauber with a double points finish are just 2 points behind Aston Martin with 26 points, and Alpine at the bottom of the pile with just 11 points. And
Phew.
with that is the end of today's episode. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate your time listening to our podcast and talking about the Formula One. That's why we love so dearly. Our
Absolutely.
next episode is in just a week's time, guys, where we head to lovely Silverstone in the UK.
God
That is one of my
save
all-time favorite tracks.
the
King.
king. I know king. I said
King.
king. I not king. I
So
said
I
king.
had a feeling you were going to say Queen at
No,
some point, but
no,
anyhow,
no. King.
no.
God save the
Home
king.
track
Let's go.
to the McLarens, home track of Lewis Hamilton, home track of George Russell, Williams is going to be a great weekend, guys. I
Yeah,
can assure you
absolutely.
that straight away. And let's hope we have a similar weekend to the same in Canada. And with that, we'll sign off and we'll see you for the next one. Have a good week, guys.
Thank you and good night. Deuce.